Yo, Steve Anderson, BB, what's up, guys? Just gave Fat Boy some food. Looking at me like I owed him something. He's good, bud. He's good. He's eating. Hi, Spirit. Thanks for stopping by, sweetie. I had that lucky, well, there's two lucky bamboo plants in that pot. It wasn't a plastic, like a grocery store orchid pot, really flimsy plastic. I thought it'd be all right, but I bumped it yesterday when I was cleaning and it disintegrated, and I didn't want him eating pieces off it, so I took it out and repotted it into a terracotta pot, which can stay in there forever. I should have done that in the first place, but particulates in the water. Alright, here, we'll try that. Not any better. Actually, that's pretty good. I'll watch him drop the fucking phone right in the goddamn water. That'd be my fucking luck. Yeah, I was at my buddy Don's. He was live, and then he quit, and I was still bored, and I got an hour to kill before I have to go pick my girlfriend up at work, so I figured I would just do a quick live stream. Fuck around. Oh, shit. It's that or sit down and end up falling asleep. You can't do that. What are you going after? Oh, piece of mealworm. Oh, God damn it. That's a tiger Oscar. He's, shit, 8 months. 8 months old. Yeah, he's definitely getting bigger, BB. He's at that stage where he's kind of putting on girth and the length is creeping. But I noticed he's definitely getting longer, but he's thick as shit. Yeah, he likes to eat. I got him some black soldier fly larvae the other day, and he's been tearing them up, but today I think he's sick of them. He wants more mealworms, so I had to give him the mealworms. He has roommates, kind of like a cleanup staff. It's him and I got 3 Raphael catfish. One's head is poking out under the rock there. You can kind of see his tail a little back there. The white and, well, kind of tan and black stripe. But yeah, he's got some company, not necessarily friends. They don't come out that often. When I get him a 125 gallon tank, I'll get another Oscar and some other fish too. I just don't want to crowd him. I mean, he's dirty enough. I got 3 fish tanks, and this is the tank with the fewest amount of fish in it, and I have to clean it twice as much as both of my other tanks combined. Uh, those guys are mainly just making sure the filter's clean and I change the water. This guy needs a vacuuming every like 3 days most because he makes a mess when he eats and it just gets stuck on the floor. It's one downside of sand and rocks is it tends to make spaces for things to accumulate. But I got this is 75 gallons. Kind of got that canister filter just making movement in the water, some flow, and then I got this community tank down here which is dirty as shit, but I'm old and it's low and it's hard for me to get back up off the floor, so probably this week I'll do a deep clean on that. It definitely needs it. And then I got a 70-gallon corner tank downstairs with angelfish and another small community, and they're all much cleaner than this one fish. Although I'm sure the catfish, there's 3 of those in this tank. They probably make as much of a mess as him. But yo, Munchichi, what's up, bud? Yeah, here, I'll give you some mealworms fish. You gonna come back over? I put some mealworms in for you, dude. Yeah, I put some mealworms in, and now you're just gonna hang out on the dark side. Yeah, bro, it's been nice here the last couple days. It's cooling off. I'm in the Northeast, though. I don't know where you live, bud, but yeah. Last year it wasn't like this. It was still in the 90s this late into the year. This year it's cooling off like it's supposed to, though. Yeah, Texas is a different kind of fucking hot, too, bro. We went down to San Antonio like 2 years ago now for my stepson's graduation at the Air Force Base, and it was like 103 degrees. And old boy at the store is like, "Oh man, it's nice out today. It cooled off." Fuck you mean it cooled off, dude? It's still 103 degrees. He's like, "Yeah, it was 108 last week." Well, shit. Glad I didn't fucking come here last week. But yeah, god damn, man. I probably lost 5 pounds in the 4 days we were there just walking around town. But yeah, Texas hot is a different kind of heat. Like, I thought I knew what hot was, but shit, a fucking cool day in San Antonio was hotter than I like. Yeah, it's not for me. At least it wasn't humid, though. There is a difference. Yep, big and hot. That's all I could say about Texas. Other than, I mean, people were cool. San Antonio is probably the cleanest sidewalks I've ever seen in my whole fucking life. Yeah, I was going to meet my cousin. He lives, I think he's just outside of Houston. He's like, "Oh, I'll drive halfway. You can drive halfway." I looked, and halfway is 3 fucking hours one way. I'm like, "Yeah, buddy, I don't think we're going to have time to devote a whole fucking day to this, you know?" between the graduation shit and doing stuff after he was let to come out and fraternize with his family. We went and did shit. But yeah, I'm like, bro, I don't think that's gonna happen. That's a long fucking drive. Like shit, I think you could drive from the very bottom of New York right up to the very top in less than 6 hours. Bro, and the highways down there are a lot bigger than we're used to in New York. Um, but yeah, it was definitely interesting. I'd like to go back and see more of the state. But yeah, San Antonio was fucking hot. Yeah, they ain't been that bad lately though, BB. Um, I mean, it might come back around, but I remember lots of times as a kid getting snow by fucking Halloween. Yeah, yeah, dude, it's definitely a shock to the system once you're used to. Like, I lived in New York State most of my life, and yeah, like Connecticut and Massachusetts aren't that much different, but then you go like down south of the Mason-Dixon line, and everything is fucking completely different. Yeah, I mean it does. If it's not snowing in New England in the winter, it's fucking raining, and we get more rain in the Northeast the last couple decades, really, than we do snow in the winter. I don't know if I would want to move countries. Countries have governments. Governments are crooks. I kind of want a fucking pirate ship on international waters. I just need the trusty, like-minded individuals and the armament. Yeah, ice sucks, dude. The year my son was born, he was born in August. Uh, the end of December, early January in 2000, the end of 2009, the beginning of 2010, we got like fucking 4 or 5 inches of ice in one storm. And me living in a small town in the middle of nowhere, it was 9 days before I got my power turned back on. Luckily, I had a wood stove and fucking, uh, you know, some battery packs that I could use. But yeah, that was some shit. I hate the fucking ice. Yo, Jasper, what's up, bud? Yeah, now we got one, but 16 years ago, I was still a dumb kid. Well, I was 32, but still a dumb kid as far as my reckoning goes. Yeah, yeah, yep. Enough fucking ice, man. It'll uproot a fucking tree, let alone dropping branches on it. But even the power lines that were not anywhere near trees were getting overweighed by the ice. We had power lines down on clear stretches with no trees. Just the ice was so heavy. It looked cool as shit, but it sucked. Hail definitely sucks, no matter where you are or where you get it. I, the thing that pisses me off most is people that have lived here and their whole life, and they're in their 70s and they're like, "Oh, the winter sucks so bad." Wait, wait. Like, I know you remember when the snow was fucking uh like deep in the wintertime. Like, you have to. I do, and you're 40 fucking years older than me. Like, how do you say this is bad? We got 3 inches last year. Total. All fucking year. Uh we got a lot of rain, but we only got 3 inches of snow. Like, how are you complaining about 2 snowstorms all year? That drives me crazy. Like, I know you remember fucking 8 foot snow banks and shit. Yo, R&D. Fuck. What's up, buddy? Yeah, I don't mind the snow either. Uh, I hate removing. I hate removing the snow. And our old min pin will not walk in anything more than a half inch of snow. So if we got a dusting, she's good. But if we get an inch or two, I gotta go scrape off some grass in the backyard so she can go out and do her business. Yeah, pretty much, Monchichi. What are you doing? You going after some? Yep. 2121, what's up? Sick cats are no good. Pointing at the fish tank and bullshitting. That's pretty much all that goes on here. Oh, spit it out, you messy bastard. Yeah, yeah, our dogs are temperamental like that. Well, the Rubble, he doesn't care. Like, he don't give a shit. Um, he doesn't like the deep snow when it touches his belly, but other than that, he's good. But Bella, she's the princess. She's 20 years old though, so like we probably don't have a whole lot more time with her. So like fucking, I'll spoil the shit right out of her. Yeah, every dog I ever had loves snow, but Bella. But yeah, I used to have a big dog, and he liked it so much that he would end up running through the piles that I made as I shoveled the walk, and I would end up having to shovel half of the walk again because he just bulldozed right through all of the shit. But yeah, he was fun in snow. Yeah, Bella doesn't like the rain either. She's very prissy. Yeah. Yeah, Bud would too if I made snowmen. He would start digging through the piles sometimes. I'm like, why can't you, like, dig in a constructive manner where, like, you're scraping it off the fucking steps or something? Like, no, you gotta dig it out of the pile and put it back where it just removed it from. we used to have a fox that would come. We had big windows in the living room, and he knew the dog was in the house, and he would come sit right in the front yard and just look at the window and see the dog going fucking crazy, and he would walk back and forth until I went out there and made him go away. But he would fucking literally come tease the dog. Yeah, that's all he was doing. It was all fun for him, you know. 130-pound dog with the zoomies and 2 feet of snow. Yeah, he went from being black and tan to tan and black to being white. He looked like a fucking Great Pyrenees when he come in the house. He would swim in the middle of winter too. Like, we got cold ass creeks around here. Like, you'll freeze your ass jumping in the middle of August, but he'll jump in January, February. He didn't care. About, I don't know, a quarter mile from my house was the creek. Yeah, and I'd let him loose in the field near the creek, and he would, run out all his, pent up energy, and then he would make right for the water and go find a rock or a stick, and he'd be having ice cubes falling off him, or not ice cubes, but icicles falling off him on the way home. I have to get the towel and dry him off before I bring him in the house. It was a fucking mess. But I love that dog. So he got away with a lot of shit. Yeah, we got bears around here. I saw one, not in my neighborhood per se, but like 3-minute drive down the road on the way to Walmart. There's a patch of woods on either side of the road, and I seen one crossing the street. I don't know, about 40-minute drive away from here is a... What the hell's the name of that town now? Anyway, it's in the Catskill Mountains, and there's a nice nature trail. And me and my kid, about 5 years ago, were walking that trail, and we walked up on probably a year-old bear. It was probably maybe 100 pounds, maybe a little bit more. But as soon as I stopped and saw it, it turned and saw me, and then it was gone. We stayed around for a bit because it did look kind of small. I didn't know if the mother would still be around. Because I've seen like a 400-pound bear at work on that same mountain. But yeah, he would come raid the 40-yard dumpster at the construction site from whatever was lunch yesterday. The garbage from yesterday's lunch would be all over. I mean, and this is a 7-foot-tall, big-ass dumpster. He climbed his big ass in there and just scattered everything. Hold on, Bella. I had to go grab the old dog. She don't like the stairs anymore. She barks. Yeah, I prefer my dogs to people too. Shit, I prefer people's dogs to people. I used to go to a junkyard that my boss's uncle had, and he had this, I think he said it was an Alaskan Malamute Rottweiler mixed breed, and dude was a big fucking dog, on a chain his whole life, and he's just beautiful, majestic, humongous bastard. And I'm like, hey man, can I pet that dog? He's like, that dog will rip your arm off. I walked right over to that dog, let him smell me, and started petting him. Like, I assume if you're running around with stolen parts, he might not be so friendly, but I just walked up to him. He was cool as shit. Dirty, smelly dog, but yeah, I like dogs. I've Never met one that didn't. Well, I met one dog that didn't. Well, two actually. Two. My cousin Lisa has one that she doesn't like men at all. But my girlfriend's aunt had one. I spent an hour when I first met this lady laying on her kitchen floor trying to sweet talk her dog with a fistful of treats, and the dog would not have it. I could stretch my arm way out and put the treat there and pull it back, my arm back, and she would take the treat. She would not let me pet her. That was kind of upsetting. But she was old, and turns out she was probably, on her last couple of months, because it wasn't long after I met Aunt, I can't remember her name now. But then the dog passed away, but that sucked. But yeah, Lisa's dog will take a fucking finger. She don't want you to pet her, but she'll take one of your fingers. Jeannie, Aunt Jeannie, that was her name. Aunt Jeannie. Aunt Jeannie's dog did not fucking like me at all. Oh shit, Bella didn't even like me at first. It took me 3 months of sharing all my dinner with her. Every time I ate food, I'd have to give her some. And it took me 3 months to be able to pet her. And then after that, she was attached at the hip. I might be able to get one of these catfish out. This guy over here always likes to get a little extra food. Throw a little pinch over there. Yeah, she's cool, BB. Here she is. Bella. Bella. She's old, going deaf. That might be selective. She got cataracts bad. Hi, old girl. Everybody sees you. Ugh. But she was 10 when I met her and very set in her ways, so I really had to butter her up big time. Brooklyn Babe said hi, Bella. She don't care, but it's funny. She really can't see much more than shadows, I don't think. She very rarely runs into anything. Like she walks very gingerly with her nose out. So if she hits something, she knows that she'll just put her head down. But the other night, she got excited for something, and she walked right into the fucking cabinet in the kitchen. I think she got disoriented, wasn't quite sure where she was in the kitchen. Because sometimes she'll do that too, not be sure where she's at. She'll be trying to bark up the stairs, but she'll be barking at the front door. That's, right there. Should be facing the door with the stairs behind her. Yeah, she's a gremlin if she's under the blanket and you touch her. She gets really fucking vicious then. But she's so old and her teeth are so worn down that even if she bites down hard, it's not really much more than a pinch, maybe a little bit of a scrape. Rarely it does. She'd really have to pinch you to draw blood, like between a couple of the canines, because like she's old. But she's a good girl. I'm not really a little dog person. Here, let me get your blanket. Let me get your blanket. Here you go. But yeah, she grew on me big time. I got another little dog after that too, Rubble. He's downstairs though. He hangs out with mom-in-law in the daytime. And then when Allie gets home, he wants to come up into the room with us when we come upstairs, but he don't want her petting her or her and I like messing around. Like he wants me to pet him. He doesn't want anything else. He's really a really weird little bastard. Yeah, those guys, they can be really cool. I haven't met a lot of cool ones, but people that know dogs and have a Chihuahua generally have a fairly cool socialized Chihuahua. I've met some I would trust less than the biggest, meanest looking dog you'll ever think of, because I know that they're just not friendly. My aunt had one. He was a terror. She had my three cousins, all boys, and they like to kind of fuck with him with their feet. So he would go after their feet. And one of the boys, the middle son, was laying on the floor no, it was the youngest son. He was laying on the floor one day in the living room, and the dog ran up and grabbed him by his ear. Now, this is a little fucking Chihuahua puppy. Like, he was maybe 2.5 months old, maybe 3 months at most. But he grabbed onto his ear, and you could hear his little snarl, and he started shaking his head like a pit bull. My cousin started screaming bloody murder, and like every part of his body was thrashing around, but his head looked like it was strapped to the floor. He did not want to put any more pressure on that than the dog was doing. And me and his two other brothers are laughing at him so hard nobody could help him. My aunt had to come get her dog off him, but I kept telling him not to fuck with the dog like that. You don't want to make it mean, dude. I mean, the hell's the point? I mean, the dog taught him not to fuck with him. But yeah, I've always had big dogs, and I've always been worried about them being mean and biting somebody, so I always try to socialize the shit out of my big dogs. Other than in the house, I do it outside. So if somebody comes in, they're going to leave a piece of them at the house if they make it out. But these guys are just basically motion sensors. Rebel, he used to act tough to the dog next door, but he's a lot bigger than him, and he got through the fence one day. There's like a loose spot on the bottom, and he squeezed under the fence, and he just wanted to play. But my dog was barking at him like an asshole, so when he came through the fence, my dog was like, oh shit. It's like an internet troll meeting a fucking person in real life. It's the best description. Talk shit through the fence, but when dude gets on the other side, you don't got nothing to say? Yeah, my grandma had St. Bernards when I was little. She raised me. So like Duke and Daisy were their names. They were like my babysitters when I was a kid. They would keep the geese and ducks the geese from fucking me up for chasing the ducks around the hen house. But yeah, when they weren't in the yard, them geese fucked me up. But I think it was Duke ran after a car and never did that in his life, and he got hit by the one behind it, and Daisy just wouldn't eat after that. Ended up having to be put down a couple of months later. She wasn't eating, she wasn't, she was going to the bathroom, and that's it. Just broken hearted. They were litter mates and they were raised together, so I could see where she wasn't herself without, old Duke. Yeah, I remember, I don't know who's got the pictures now, but my little naked 1-year-old self sitting on the couch between these two, I I think it was 180. Daisy was like 180 pounds, and Duke was like 220. They're big fucking dogs. Yeah, it was sad. They were, family, like dogs are. That's the only sad thing about a dog. The only downside. I mean, 20 years is a good lifespan for a small dog. Big dogs, you're lucky to get 10 or 12 at most. Shit, a boxer's, I think, is only 7 years, their life expectancy. I know Great Danes is only like 7 or 8. But I've met a 12-year-old Great Dane before that got hit by a car at 11 and just shrugged it off. I mean, he got road rash and everything, but didn't break nothing. Didn't even limp when he walked back to the house. Just walked back to the house, laid on the porch, and went to sleep. The next day, he woke up and was running around with the dogs again. Yeah, I know some people say after this dog I won't be able to have another one. Well, I've had to live a few years without being able to have a dog, and as long as I am willing, as long as I'm able, as long as I got a roof over my head, I gotta have a dog. No two dogs are exactly alike, and you're not going to get a dog just like the one you just lost, but you're going to get an awesome fucking dog. My uncle was like that. He went 5 or 6 years, and then a friend of his had a dog, and the friend's wife passed away, and the guy couldn't keep the dog, so he gave him to my Uncle Bill, and yeah, that dog had a great fucking life. But he, second guessed never having another dog. I mean, he wasn't the same dog. The dog he had was 16, and he was literally family. He was around before my cousin was born. And so everybody missed him, The whole family kind of mourned him. Yeah, absolutely. At least one dog. Billy, you just came back upstairs. You can't possibly have to go back downstairs for anything. Yeah, my kid's mother, my ex, she's got like fucking 6 dogs in the house, man. I'm like, why do you have so many fucking dogs? And cats. She's probably got 2 dozen cats. And wonders why the kid has allergy and asthma issues. Like, dude, get rid of some of the fucking animals. There's too much dander. She got birds and ferret, a couple other fucking things too. It's just nuts. It's almost a hoarding situation. Yeah. My brother used to date a girl. Her mom had, I think, 12 or 13 dogs. And she wasn't breeding them. She just had that many dogs. Like, I've known breeders that don't keep 13 dogs at their house. Yeah, I mean, that's a manageable number. And cats, as long as they're litter trained and you keep up on that, they're no fucking problem at all. Well, I've had a few nuisance cats, but not too bad. Yeah, we got 2 dogs and a cat. The cat is kind of my mother and brother-in-law's cat as well at this point. He separates his time. But he he decided he wanted to live here and walked in behind me and has been here since. He did disappear for 2 years. He would come around once a month or once every 2 months, stay a day or two, and then he'd be gone again. But that's because the guy around the corner was feeding outside cats and catching them to have them spayed. So he got picked up as a stray and got neutered. Yeah, yeah. You need one box per cat, really. I mean, two to a box is pushing it. You gotta like clean it twice a day, minimum. Like I hate having a litter box. I love that my cat is an outdoor cat. He pees in his litter box once in a while, but very rarely is there poop in there. But yeah, as a kid, if the cat wasn't an outside cat, we couldn't have it. My grandfather would not allow a litter box in the house. He liked having cats around, though. He liked the cats. He just did not want a litter box stinking up the house. Yeah, that's the best way to keep them. Like I've lost cats to the road before when I was a kid. Um, and if this guy was when we brought in the house, I would have done my best to make him an inside cat. But somebody dropped him off because the neighbor used to feed strays. She used to have like 30 cats always hanging out at her house, and someone dropped him off. He was the only cat in that group that came up on the porch when I was on the porch and would let me pet him. And that after like the third time he did that, he followed me in the house. It was Christmas Eve, 8 maybe 9 years ago now. And he was an adult when he got here. I don't even know how old this cat is. But he's a good cat. He don't jump on the counter. He don't jump on the table. He don't fuck with the plants. He used to eyeball my snake, but he hasn't looked at the fish twice. Um, but yeah, he's a good cat. He looks just like Morris from the 9 Lives bag, too. Like your classic orange tabby cat. Yeah, well, he figured this guy's cool. He pets me. Maybe I'll be able to get in the house. Yeah, I fucked around and did that the other day, and then I couldn't find my goddamn charger for the truck. Yeah, I even bought him, I spent like $22 on 2 pots of catnip, like live growing catnip. And I figured, oh, he'd love this, you know. Since he doesn't go after the plants, I'll give him one that he can go after. I figured I would give him one and, you know, keep the other one. He didn't even look at it twice. I chopped some up. He didn't want it. There's a certain percentage of cats that catnip has no interest for, and he's in that percentage. So I ended up chopping it all up and taking it outside to the neighbors' stray cats. They went fucking crazy that day. All of those cats liked it. I did get one of the catfish out, but they're getting big too. Not quite as fast as old Pigpen. Oh, the other one's under the rock there. Nice. Yeah, my boss's mother-in-law used to grow it. We would get it all the time. Because, oh, my brother-in-law fucks with him like that. He really likes hanging out with the brother-in-law. His name is Sphinx. That's what my stepsons named him when he came in the house. But, my brother-in-law calls him Larry. So now my kid calls him Larry too. But yeah. Yeah, I thought Sphinx would like it too, but nope. He don't like it at all. Had no interest. I had a calico one time. She was crazy as it was, but you give her catnip, holy shit. It was like giving a kid with fucking uh, ADHD massive amount of speed and just letting them go. She would literally like run down the hall and bounce off the walls and turn the corner by hitting the wall twice and then back up the hall. She was fucking lunatic. She was a mean cat too. She didn't like attention too much. She would come around maybe once a day to get 5 minutes of pets, and then that was it. Just make sure food was there and you got toys. She liked to play with the toys, but she didn't want to be petted. Not too much. That was a cat I really didn't want, but she grew on me. Yeah, pretty much. She would go crazy. The Maine Coon we had would too, but he was dopey. He would forget that the claws, you know, go in and out at will. He would forget, and while he's running down the carpeted hallway, you'd hear a thump, and his front his front claws would catch, and he would endo right there. A couple times I had to go and actually extract his claws from the fibers of the carpet. He was a dopey bastard, that cat. Old Buford. He was a Maine Coon. He was a dopey bastard cat. But he would sit on the coffee table and stare at the TV like he was watching it. Or if you left the newspaper on the coffee table, he would sit there and look left and right like he was reading it. Yeah. I had an iguana that loved weed. I fucking I got a whole bunch of leaf trimmings from my uncle, and he's like, I'm like, what am I gonna do with this? He's like, you said your lizard likes vegetables, right? Give it to him. So I gave him some. He loved it. So I would chop some up in his food, and it was all still green and it wasn't dried out. But yeah, then one day he's still little. I got him on my shoulder, and I'm breaking up weed to roll a joint, and he runs down and grabs the bud that I left sitting there, like a, I don't know, it was about as big as a marble, a little bigger, like the big marble in the bag. And he ran down, grabbed that, and then ran up behind the back of my neck, down the middle of my back, where I couldn't grab him at all. And then he ate it. I was like, motherfucker. But he calmed down quick after he started eating the weed. I could see that. I could see where he would be interested in that. Hell yeah. Yeah, the shooter marble. It was about as big as he could fit in his mouth, and he ran back up behind me, where behind my neck, where I couldn't grab him. That little bastard ate it. But yeah, he would take pulls out of the steamroller. I'd fill it up and just let him put his head in there, and he'd just fucking breathe deep. We'd put him in the kitchen table and basically just hotbox the kitchen, close the doors, and smoke out the kitchen with him in the middle of the table. Everybody liked having him around till he wanted to move, and then people got scared because he was 6 feet long when he was done growing. But he was cool. He was just like a fucking bearded dragon or, a friendly cat. He would just come up and get on your lap, want you to pet him or give him a handout. He did look scary, though. The best is if people come over and he's running around loose, And they don't see him sitting right there on the back of the beige couch. It's this big green fucking lizard. They don't notice him, and then they sit down and get comfortable, and a couple minutes later he crawls down across the front of them to get onto the floor, and they start freaking the fuck out. That shit's hilarious. Like, y'all know the fucking thing lives here. You know it might be loose at some point. You should expect it. Yeah, yeah. I remember when me and my ex broke up, I moved into my sister's after, I don't know, about a year of couch hopping with buddies and shit. And I had a turtle, and I had one snake, and my sister's friend came over with her two kids, and the mother is very afraid of, like, fucking everything. She's like, no, you can't touch the snake. You can't touch the turtle. I told her, look, just go in the other fucking room. Don't spread that stupid shit to your kids. Don't make your kids afraid of what you're scared of. There's no reason for them to be afraid of either one of these things. Like, come the fuck on. Being careful and being scared, yeah, is definitely two different fucking things. But yeah, the kid wanted to see the turtle and wanted to hold it and learn, know about it. So, like, why are you going to make him afraid? That's going to make him not want to learn about other things, too. Just, makes me mad. Yeah, there's not much that I'm even that careful about. Yeah, you don't fuck around with the armadillos. Unless you want to be a leper. But yeah, like, my brother's even, my youngest brother's big like me. Like, he's 6'2", like 230. And, I saw this big ass, I don't even know what kind of spider it was, but it's one that made me stop and be like, wow, that's a big fucking spider. So it's got to be good size, because that shit don't bother me. So I pick it up, and this dude looked like a little fucking girl. Like, oh my God. Like, what the fuck is wrong? He's freaking out, telling me there's something wrong with me, wanting to keep his daughter away from, like, what are you fucking talking about, dude? I just picked up a harmless little fucking spider. It's not going to kill you. But yeah, like, I don't know. I don't know, man. I know people that are afraid of snakes, and like, I've never been afraid of that stuff. I can't comprehend. I know one person who, as a kid, her first interaction with a snake was at 3 years old, and she was bit by a copperhead in her driveway. So she grew up with a fear of snakes. I'm like, wow, that's legitimate. Like, that's a legitimate reason to be afraid. Okay, like, I can't say nothing about that. And then when she was in her 30s, late 30s, she got bit again. She owned horses and had hay. And when it was a baby when the doctor said when they checked her out, because she started feeling sick at work, and she worked at a hospital. She went to see a doctor and was talking to him, and he told her to go to the emergency room. And she thought she got stung on the back of the leg by a wasp, but she got tagged by a small copperhead. Made her sick, made her real weak and shit. Didn't wasn't a threat to her life necessarily, but did make her feel like shit. But yeah, she's got a legitimate fear of that stuff, which is why she, would have me come help her fold up her tarps and shit that were laying out to dry because there'd always be 100 garter snakes under there, or a couple milk snakes mixed in, and she wasn't having that shit. It was a cool friendship though. I got to bring my kid, and he got to hang out with some cool draft horses and uh, make friends with them. The one wouldn't even come to the owner as fast as he would come to my kid, and he was a rescue. That one was abused at some point before Pat got him. But yeah, that lady was, man. Like, why would you freak out and cause your kids to have a negative reaction to something that they're interested in? Like, what the fuck, man? Like, I'll bring my snake out with me when I go to PetSmart or Petco sometimes, and like all the adults get away from me, but all their kids come running toward me because nobody at the pet store is going to take a snake out for them to touch, and I got one wrapped around my wrist, letting them, come play with it. But yeah, I don't know, man. Stuff gets ingrained, and people have a hard time letting go of even the negative shit, I guess. I remember when I was a kid, I was afraid of the dark until I was stuck outside doing something with a fucking flashlight that died, and realized that the dark is just, it's the same as the light. You just can't see as good. Now I love the fucking dark. But I know grown adults that are still afraid of the dark. That boggles my mind. Like, how? How have you not learned by now that nothing is going to get you? The possibility of what if is too much, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, shit. What toys did you have when you grew up, Dad? I had dirt and rocks. I had a stick and whatever fucking critter we could catch that day. Yeah, hell yeah. Once I got past that stupid fucking, initial of just being afraid of, it's like, well, what the fuck is out here? Nothing. Whatever is going to get you with the flashlight off is going to do it with the light on too, buddy. Not being afraid of the dark as a kid comes in really fucking handy too when you're playing like hide and seek and shit at night with the neighborhood kids. Some kids wouldn't get out from under the street light or the porch light. That's how you get found, dummy. Oh yeah, yeah, man. When we went to San Antonio, I loved going outside at night. I mean, it was still warm, but like you said, you could breathe, you could move around a little bit without sweating out fucking 3 pounds of fluids. Well, it's getting to be that time, guys. I got to split. I'll see you all next time. Thanks for stopping in. Pink Pen appreciates it. Catch y'all next time, fuckers.